Before we start, I know what you're thinking.
Humble trader, why are you wearing a hat indoors?
I'm wearing a hat because, first of all, I'm bored and I don't go out, so there's no opportunities for me to wear a hat. And mostly because I'm bored. So today was pretty choppy. Like I had some trades going and then just gave back some. I got chopped up. So I'm probably red from all the commissions and locate fees today, which is too bad because yesterday we had a very good follow through, which we'll go over. But today is just one of those days where I was just like falling asleep in front of my keyboard. That's without further ado, let's go over the trades from today first. So today, I was positioned for a very nice long setup on QS, right? It's one of the SPACs, it's breaking out to new all-time highs daily. We pretty much ramped up from $58 previous day close all the way down here. 58, and we're trading around 70s pre-market. Now, I did not participate in the shorts. I know it's a stock that a lot of people are looking to short, but I was actually looking for the long trade, and I did decent on the entries on the long side, which I'm really happy about. I started here around 75.30s. I did trim some, thinking that, okay, just in case we don't hold, I want to trim my size and just add back in if it does reclaim. And once this reclaims, I re-added back. You can see I added here, selling into the breakout. That's what I wanted. Now, when this move happened, I was a little bit frustrated because I sold most of my shares over here, like on this way up, from pretty much from 77 selling into $80 and 82s. I wanted to add back because I was thinking, okay, if we are squeezing up, breaking out, we actually have an upside to, $90, hundreds. I know it sounds crazy, but with these volatile SPACs, they can do that. But we just didn't get that. You can see I re-added back in and pretty much added on the pullback. Even though I did buy on the pullback, there's literally no bounces. So I gave back all the profits on the long trade. A little bit frustrating, but pretty much gave back everything I made here, which is unfortunate, but could have been worse, I guess. But I was really happy about nailing the squeeze move on the long side on the way up. It just like no clean follow through, right? If it's a true breakout that was gonna be successful and hold, what it has to do is break out and pull back and consolidate around this high $80s area and for the next leg up. And that's what I was looking for, but we just didn't get that. And then I gave back pretty much all the profits on QS on the long side. I didn't short QS at all. It looks like it would have been a nice short. But to me, this was a long breakout trade. And the next one, which was a little bit frustrating, but I think it's overall I executed well, was XBIO. So I was short this one and I covered everything. And that was a really nice cover. Sometimes the best trades are the ones where you cut it for a small loss and then you see the stock squeezing up higher if you were shorts, right? So that felt really good. Even though I lost maybe 10 cents a share, that was totally fine. Because after I covered, you can see this thing just squeeze right out. So right, don't you guys sometimes get that feeling? Let's say if you were long, even though you took you stopped out for like a 10 cents or 20 cents loss, even though it's a loss, but it feels really good when you see it after you stopped out. The stock just tanked, maybe another $1 or $2. So if you followed your risk and you stopped out for a small loss, I think this is a well executed trade, even though it's a small loss over here. Now this is where I scale back in short. Around after seeing that $5 I failed. You can see failed spike. They tried once, twice, 3 times. So technically that's a triple top, right? And we just couldn't hold $5, and that's why I got in short again. I even added here thinking that we're really gonna roll over to 360s and below. But once they start reclaiming, this is why I cut my short. Again, after I cut here and here, the stock just squeezed again. So small profit on the secondary short, but I kind of wish I covered at $4. Would have, should have, could have. Hindsight is always 20/20. But I'm very happy about this cover because it squeezed again to 580s. There should be an indicator called humble trader cover indicator. Whenever I covered, you go long because the stock is gonna squeeze. Don't do that. I would just I was just joking. But squeezed out, and then so I got in short again, small. I did, got in a little bit too early on this one, but very small size on the re-entries because I'm looking for the similar thing, right? Similar thing, failed to hold VWAP. I'm looking for another rolling over. Didn't happen. I added around $5, right? Same idea, $5, $5, $5. Those were the previous levels that failed. Added here at 5s, gave me a nice average about 480s, and I pretty much cut it flat because it's just kind of trading sideways, and I don't want to be kind of chopped up in the consolidation grind. Even though this thing did roll over slowly like right now, but I'm out. So pretty much another flat trade on XBIO. But this trade, I'm still very happy about it because I managed my risk pretty well, especially seeing that after each cover, the stock squeezed. So that's what I'm happy about. This is the cleanest trade on the day, but to me, this was just a scalp. And so that's why, even though it's a profit, it's still, it didn't amount to anything significant. ONCT, breaking out on the daily was starting to go parabolic. I scaled in short, small, around $7. And Y7, if you go on the daily chart, $7 this area, right? Some area of prior resistance. And that's why I started scaling around that 7s. Now, I started in small, but it's only once I see this, you can see, try to spike again to 718, 719, tried once, tried twice, tried third time and reject, right? So that tells me, okay, the 710, 718's level would be a good risk reward if you want to short with that level as a risk. So I got in, added short 711s, 706, got a nice flush to 683, and also out at 665. Again, just a scalp trade for me, nothing big. But if you compare this trade to the rest of the other 2 trades I took, this is the cleanest one. Today it's just, I still got chopped up and I'm just so bored. Not a lot of clean follow through. Now, if we look at the trades from yesterday on Tuesday, it was a lot cleaner. So yesterday, CRIS, I took a loss on the short side early on, and I'm still very happy about my cover. I shorted here, so I had an average about 520s and covered for $1 a share loss, about 610, 620s. So not fun. But I'm very happy about the cover because after I covered, the stock just took off all the way to almost $8. So there's no way I'm gonna keep on holding that short all the way on the way up. So I'm happy about this cover, and I actually got long around here, $6. Added around 680s, and then I really thought we're gonna get one of those parabolic move to $8 and break out to nice, and that's why I had a tiny add up here around 750s. And I literally just bought at the top, right? The breakout, the follow through didn't happen. So unfortunately, the profit on the long side is minimized. So I cut all the long here around 730s. So I got out for a small profit on the long side. Would have been better if I just sold into $8, but again, could have, would have, should have. But I really did think this was really gonna squeeze. There are a few factors. The stock was on SSR. It's also easy to borrow at many of the brokers I checked. So that's why, that was my thesis for a bigger squeeze move. But it just didn't happen. But, my average at this point, even after this ad, most of my average is down here on 670s. So I had about 680s average. So even after that ad, and that's why I was trying to be more patient, trying to hold through the consolidation up here. But once it shows that it's not breaking out to new highs, that's why I took profits at 720, 710, something like that. So smaller profit, but overall made money on the long side. So you can see CRIS overall loss on the short. The long I didn't make money, but the profit is a lot smaller. So net negative on CRIS. even though that was a loss, the best trade on the day yesterday was LAZR. So this one was overall a short for me, and we did see a lot of the follow through, and it's a decent trade. So even though I did take a decent sized loss on CRIS, LAZR kind of paid for it and more. So I'm happy about this. So this is kind of like the similar setup, at least in the beginning, as what we just saw on QS, right? Spike out of the gate and sell off and then kind of reclaim. Now, I was more short bias on LAZR because we've been up straight up for the last 4 days. So we're really extended on the daily. I did miss the move right at the open, but I didn't want to chase, right? The idea is that I want to wait for the bounce to short into it. Now, I'm scaling in and out of this short position the entire, I guess this is like an hour. Wow, yeah. I started in around like 10 o'clock and closed the trade around 11. So that took the entire hour. I was just kind of working in and out of my core short position. So around bounces, it bounced to around 44, 45. That's why I'm scaling in short. I did cover some starter just in case we start consolidating and squeeze to new highs like we saw on QS today. But that didn't happen. So once that confirms, I'm adding back short, cover into the flushes. But the idea is that the longer it makes a daily downtrend, like intraday downtrend, and holding below VWAP and below prior support, prior resistance, however you want to call it, I want to keep on adding on the short side. And we got a very nice flush. You can see even after the covers, I did add back in on the weakness, covered some into the daily support in case this is a double bottom on the intraday chart, but re-added on the bounces. I'm just adding on the bounces, keeping my core position at this point. After all the average down at about 43's average, and around this time is actually where Citron came out with a short report on Twitter, and the stock just tanked with the bearish tweets, etc. Now you might call it lucky, you may call this luck, but luck is when preparation meets opportunities. I was already short, and that actually gave me the conviction to add even more size into the short position. Around 41.50s, I'm adding into weakness. Again, I'm not scared because the daily has a lot of downside. I'm not scared. I'm adding into weakness, and my first cover after all these adds, I had an average about 41.50s average after the adding on the weakness, and cover into 39.50s, and I'm even short the bounces here, and then we got more flush move down to 37.50s and 38. So I actually held this position for the entire hour, but it was very worth it, even though I was just watching, kind of like stalking this chart for a long time. But that this is where we have some clean follow through yesterday, either to the upside or downside, it doesn't matter, but yesterday was a lot cleaner, and today we just didn't have any move like that, so which is unfortunate. Now the last trade yesterday is PENN. They broke out to new all-time highs. I didn't have big size on this. I just bought the dip around 77.30s or 77.20, something like that, and sold into the 79's breakout level. So to me, this is just a scalp because my focus was on LAZR and CRIS, even though that one turned out to be a loss. Alright, so time for some Q&As. From Kelvin, may I ask, how do you determine when to take profit and what's your stop for large and small cap? So I think the answer to this is going to be very general because it's a very general question about when to take profit and what's your stop. So if you are long, you want to take profit into resistance, and especially if you are longing a small cap, like the one we saw on CRIS, my trade from yesterday, you definitely want to sell into the breakouts too. And in hindsight, I wish I did. That would have been some very nice profit if I just sold into the breakout. So on small cap, on the low float especially, take profit on the breakout moves and the squeeze moves. You want to sell when everyone's chasing it, right? You want to sell into the sheep, chasing the alerts, buying the whole dollar breakout. So that's where I will sell. The large caps, it's not really the same. They're kind of two different animals. But for the large caps, I will sell into the daily resistance levels. And how you set stops, it's going to be depending on the setup. Unfortunately, there's no black and white answer consider for that. So if I'm long at a support, then my stop will be, if it breaks down that support, so it'll be below that support, right? If I'm short using a resistance level on ONCT, right? If I'm short using the prior resistance around 720s, then my stop will be if it breaks out above 720s. So, it all depends on the setup and on the technical analysis on the daily support and resistance levels. Okay, second question from Dan. What platform has paper trading will emulate the order fill on DAS Trader? DAS Trader, you can actually subscribe to their simulator. I mean, if you really want to emulate DAS Trader, you should just use their DAS Trader simulator. It does cost money for paper trading, but you're paying for the platform, you're paying for the fills and the speed. So, and that's the platform I use. You can, if you don't connect to a broker, then it's a simulator. But if you connect to a broker, so I have DAS Trader connected to Cobra Trading. They gave me this hat connected to Cobra Trading. So that's my broker and DAS is my platform. So you can sign up for their paper trading, the simulated trading, if you really want to practice on DAS Trader Pro. I think the free commission brokers that you're talking about is fine, like Webull, Robinhood, but I think it's fine for paper trading to get started. But I think once if you want to start taking it seriously, you might want to start looking at these more premium platforms, right? Today feels like a Friday for some reason. The action just, reminds me of a Friday, but it's only a Wednesday. So hopefully things really pick up tomorrow. I want some sort of follow through like we did see on Tuesday. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And if you enjoyed the video, please remember to drop a like. And I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the bad jokes. If you want to see more day trading content, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more. If you'd like to trade with me daily and get my free weekend watch list and trading journal, make sure to check out the links below for more resources. Stay green, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time.